Okay, let's see. Is it recording? Yes, probably. So I just got back from a job interview, and hence the suit. Yeah, eh, okay. So you see, mine's blank again. Two things happen. Two things can happen when there's no words flowing out. One is that my thoughts are blank, and the other one is my thoughts are blank again. What the hell? The second one is that you're thinking about something. Okay, usually when I catch myself having no words to say, it's the first one, which is my mind literally goes blank. It's like the Men in Black, the flash thing. That happens. In order to cope with that, I think it's useful to quickly analyze the current situation so that there's something in my mind to talk about and I can build upon that. Speaking of analyzing, I love analyzing for some reason, and I would like to analyze why, as a teenager, I felt like I didn't have many solid opinions. In the previous video, I said I was observing growing up and I wasn't outputting as much. And the reason why I couldn't output was because I haven't decided what I think just yet. The way an opinion is formed for anybody is they take in information and they think about it and then they put their own thoughts to it. And after all that process, you can finally share it. For me, that digesting the information part was always slow. Because when you're young and then when there's so much information, you don't know what's right and what's wrong. And it takes some time and experience to really know how the world works, I guess. But today, though, on the other hand, a few things I caught myself saying that when you're really in the moment of communication, you're not thinking about converting thoughts into words. It happens instantaneously. I was able to get to that stage a few times today. When you're into it, it's your mind speaking. It's no words anymore. Thinking, converting, and speaking. I'm not thinking that anymore. I'm literally thinking out loud, which is crazy. But when I'm thinking out loud, usually I digress. I go off topic because that's how my mind works. It likes to go anywhere it wants to go. If I try to prevent my brain from going where it wants to go, then I have the troubleshooting, which is blank mind. That brings me to a next point. Doing things when you feel like doing it. When you have something to say, like right now, I have something to say, so it's easy for me to talk. But let's see, for instance, yesterday, I was thinking of making a video just like this, but I couldn't. I didn't have it in me. And I was also thinking about other music things, so it was difficult for me to force myself to create. But I come to realize I should do what I feel like doing at that moment and never force myself, especially things like sharing your true thoughts. It's difficult when there is a time pressure or when there's any pressure. So to get to that safe space, you really have to be grounded and have room in your mind to really think what you think. Because I feel like in the world there are a lot of people who don't say what they mean. But the fact is people's brains are really complex and are able to detect what they mean. Maybe they feel the ingenuine when they're not true to themselves. And you know what I'm talking about, like you can feel it when stuff are fake. I try my best to avoid that. It takes me back to the reason why I couldn't output as much was because I was still processing what I was thinking in my brain. And deciding what's right and wrong is the hardest thing. It goes into the realm of philosophy, really. Psychology, philosophy, and it's about thinking, and it's thinking about thinking, and it touches the subject of morals and all that greater perspective. And for me, like I said, I wasn't really sure. Like, I didn't know what to do with all the information and all these opinions that were out in the world. It's really accessible nowadays with the internet too. I think genuinency, noun of genuine. I think nowadays being genuine takes courage, but that's really the only way you can free yourself. I think the reason why I felt today I had a few good, solid opinions was because I have, through experience and deep thinking, I've made up my mind and was able to project how I feel. I think it's also to do with emotion as well. When it comes to deciding what to do with the information, emotion plays a big role. I feel like some people are quick at making decisions. That can lead to some cognitive dissonance sometimes. Okay, well, how I reacted and how I really think is two different things. But if you just go off of how you react and build on that, then when the time comes for you to think deeply, you're going to find some discrepancies. With a cognitive dissonance, you're not really happy because you're not true. and deep down you know that you're not being true. So, yeah, that's my analysis. Okay, going back to doing things when you feel like doing it. Well, some things you have to do, like eating. That's... Don't laugh at me. Like, eating for me is a chore because it takes away the concentration. When I'm really into something, I can go 20 hours not eating. Literally. So that's dangerous, if you're living alone. That's just how my mind works. You can call it an addictive personality. That's kind of like a negative label, implying that you get into one thing so deeply that you can't see the world around you. But in a positive sense, that's superhuman concentration. And that's really cool because when you get into something you like really deeply, then you can keep chasing without a break. Okay, also going back to, what was it? I'll share a story with you. Do you guys know Bill Wirtz? Bill Wirtz is a musician from America, and he makes videos and also has a website where he answers questions. And I think he does this every day, like every single day. There's sometimes it's a few questions, sometimes it's hundreds of questions a day. It's crazy. But he takes the time to answer all of them. I occasionally go there and ask questions. And one time I asked him about listening to your work. For me, I spend a lot of time listening to my recordings in my work. And I wasn't sure if that was good or bad, but I knew that it was taking a lot of time away from me when I could be working on something new and moving on. But I was really stuck. Like, I would listen to it. And the reason I would listen to it is because I like it. Because when you don't like it, you don't want to listen to it. But when you like it, you listen to it. I spent so much time listening to my own work. I started thinking to myself, wow, is this a waste of time? Is there a way to overcome this, I was also thinking, oh, is this an ego thing? Like, do I think I'm so great? But it's probably not an ego thing because when I don't like it, I can't listen to myself. But then all these thoughts come into my head when you can't move forward. I asked him, and his response was, you should listen to it when you feel like it. You shouldn't listen to it when you don't feel like it. That kind of relates to what I just said earlier about making a video. Like going against your natural rhythm or whatever because you want to keep a routine or, I don't know, you have the external pressure coming at you. Not only it's stressful for you to have to meet the expectations or internal expectations as well, like it becomes not genuine. And especially with a sensitive thing like your true thoughts becomes distorted. I don't know. I think you get my point, but I'm not quite confident that I was able to put this out there in words